Okay, The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis. I've got to warn you, this is a dense book. I wish people had told me before I read it. So that's the first thing you should know. Dense book, great book, a classic, written in 1950 by C.S. Lewis. It was actually a series of radio broadcasts that he did, which you can still find on YouTube, that he basically cleaned up and clarified in book form after they aired. But it was so good. I mean, this is a study of the four different types of love. And again, I'm going to try to do this review justice, but there is a lot in this book, and I'd read this 2 or 3 times, really, before I give a full review, because, man, it's a lot to take in. I mean, some of the sentences you just have to stop and read over and over to get the meaning of. But, I mean, it's got structurally, it's got 2 introductory chapters, one about the differences between need love and gift love. Need love being like a child that goes to the mom when they're first born because it needs love. But then there's gift love. An example of that would be the father taking care of a family financially, gifting his love in that form. And so he distinguishes between those 2 types of love, and then there's another great little introductory chapter about what's to come. And then the remaining 4 are a coverage of 3 natural types of love, which he considers affection, friendship, and eros. Affection in the Greek is storge. Friendship in the Greek is philia, and of course eros is Greek. But these are the 3 natural forms of love, and affection being the family love, more beast-like. So this would be like the litter of puppies that the mom's taking care of is affection. It's showing affection for the newborn litter. Friendship being friends, true friendship. He talks about there aren't many true friendships today that are deep, and more friendship today is just common interests, and you're going to the same places, you're doing the same things, so naturally you're going to be friends. But true friendship is uncommon, and can be so much more fruitful. And then eros is being in love, or love itself. This is the romantic kind of love that we all know of. And then, of course, charity, or agape, is the 4th, but it's the most powerful love that he covers. It is God's love. It is the love described in Scripture. It's a love that is not dependent on reciprocity. C.S. Lewis does a great job in here explaining in depth the differences between the 4 loves, but he makes clear that the 4th love, agape, is the deepest form of love and the hardest, or maybe impossible for us naturally and with human form to meet that level of charity, he calls it, or agape, of giving to one without any sense or need for reciprocity. But the other 3 natural forms are always giving in order to get. That is the experience that the gift goes. You're giving with reciprocity in some form in those 3 natural forms of love. And he also talks about that those forms of love are fleeting. So they're just temporary moments in time because of that flaw in them. The only perfect love he describes is agape, the Christian godly love, the love of God, that can give without finality, without any sort of cap on it. That's the love that we should aspire to have within us for others at all times. In English, there's 1 word for love. In Greek, there were 4, which I liked. That was cool. I mean, we just call love, love, and then we say, oh, we love Cheetos, but we also love our wives. Love our wives. Love our wife. But you know what I mean. Anyway, so I love that the Greeks did that. It distinguishes between 4 types of different love, 4 types of love, but then also distinguishes with those terms. You're able to say I like something versus I love something, because love should be a powerful word, and we throw it around like it's I love Cheetos. So I like that the Greeks have those. The ability to distinguish between them. Friendship is shallow out of convenience. It's of common interest. I loved his chapter on friendship. If you read this book, it'll probably be your favorite chapter because it is something that goes overlooked in all of our lives. Friendships are just hollow now, and and honestly, it's because social media and technology, as it connects us to a higher volume of people, it disconnects us from being with people one-on-one in most cases. But he actually talks about friendship being some of the deepest love relationships that you can have. And he compares it nicely with romantic love and why there is a difference. So you have to get it. I don't want to go into more detail because I'll botch it there, but the differences are so well spelled out here that it really gives you perspective into each one. Let's see. Here's some quotes that I kept that I really resonated with me. Friendship is unnecessary, like philosophy. Like art, it has no survival value. Rather, it is one of these things which give value to survival. So it is an unnecessary form of love, but it exists anyway, which is so cool. It's necessary in order to give value to survival. I also wrote down, appreciative love gazes and holds its breath and is silent. Rejoices that such a wonder should exist, even if not for him. Will not be wholly dejected by losing her, would rather have it so than to never have seen her at all. So appreciative love gazes and holds its breath and is silent. I thought that was the most beautiful line. You're just looking. You don't have to say anything. You're just acknowledging and appreciating the love that is. And you're appreciative that it existed. I've actually spoken to some people in the later parts of their life that have lost their spouses, and your natural instinct is to say, wow, I'm so sorry that you lost. And then you go, well, why does the Lord set it up that way to where you live 70 years with this person and then you have to lose her at the end? And it's so that we can appreciate and have perspective for what was. And there is beauty in that, C.S. Lewis says. And I thought that was such a great little line that he put in there. So, I mean, in summary, this is a very high-in-the-sky philosophical book. Make sure you go into that with your expectations set clearly, because I didn't, and I thought, ooh, I'm gonna have to really focus and take time to understand each sentence, and enjoy the read. I mean, it's an interesting. If you love philosophy, this will be a good one, because it's definitely clarifying thoughts on different types of love, and you can take away some value from each chapter and the four types. But ultimately, we want agape. We want to be Christ-like in the ways we love, and it needs to be giving to others without any expectation of reciprocity, which is hard to do. But he makes the point that is ultimately the goal, and he actually ponders whether or not we'll always fall short just because humans are fallen. So anyway, I mean, really, really great book. There's more to unpack in it that I haven't been able to touch on, and it would come through reading it 2 or 3 times. So would I keep this book? I would. Would I reread it? Yes, I would, because it's a challenge. It's a challenge to take all this in and fully grasp every word in this book. And so it's a great study. It'd be a great study if you're into that kind of thing. All right, The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis.